Yeah, we did.
So much BackTalk from GAMA Las Vegas 2017. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to BackTalk. Were you giving me horns there for a
No,
little bit?
no, what? Huh?
I'm
tired. What?
Pulling an Eric Lang.
Do an intro. Come on. Bring us up.
As I was saying, hello, everybody, and welcome to GAMA 2017. I am flanked by these gorgeous women. I'll let you introduce yourselves. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm Suzanne.
And I'm Mandi.
We're going to be giving you some just quick and brief impressions about what we've seen so far here at GAMA, as I said, in Vegas, and just some games we've played, the overall impressions we've gathered so far. So I say let's kick it off with the bigger scope, and then we'll get a little bit more narrow as we go. So overall, GAMA 2017. Have you been here before? You definitely have. I remember that. Have you been here before?
I am the newbie.
Okay, so I tell you what. Let's get to you last, then, so we can see how that compares to what we're feeling, you know, on a return experience to this trade show. For me, and I don't know if I don't know how you're feeling about it. For me, so far, they had one big difference from before, which was Monday night. There was a game night, which has never been there before. They always have done before a Wednesday night game night where the publishers will set up their games. They have their own little tables, and they'll show you demos, and you can sort of walk around, see what's going on, see what's coming up later in the year. This year, they are doing that twice. We are recording this right now. It is Wednesday morning, so that hasn't happened tonight yet, but they did it on Monday as well. And I thought that was a nice way to not just show games, but I spoke to several people that felt like that was a nice icebreaker to the entire event. I ran into a couple of store owners who hadn't been here before. They were a little bit nervous, a little bit more skittish about the whole thing. And that evening allowed those people to sort of just take a back seat for a moment, watch what's going on. And when they felt brave enough, approach a table, see what's going on, start talking to people. You know, how did you feel about that night?
I think that's a great assessment. I think all of what you said is very true. And then just for me personally, I remember the game night on Wednesday night last year being really busy. It was crowded. Everybody was there. A lot of the publishers had tables set up and things like that. And what was great to move around, like you were kind of fighting for table space a little, and it was really loud. And Monday was a little more laid back. I don't know if everybody wasn't there. It seemed like if I wanted to try something, I never had to wait long, or I could always find something to do. It was a little more relaxed. So as far as like an icebreaker goes, I think that's a great way of putting it. It was a great kind of opening night thing to kind of ease your way into it. And I really enjoyed it. Plus, because game night on Wednesday last year was so, everything's going on, I didn't get to do a lot. Whereas on Monday night, I got to do a little bit more and, play some things and talk to publishers. So that worked really well for me. I agree.
Well, it allows for the speaking to someone also, which was really tough that Wednesday.
Yes.
Last time, absolutely. What did you think? Either about that night or the whole thing?
Well, I was expecting like a lot. You know what I mean? Sometimes you come in, it's chaotic, there's a lot of people, it's work, and I was surprised that it was really calm, and I was able to relax and chat with people. So for me, it was great. I thought it was a great introductory day to come in. So that was really my thought on that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure, again, as we said, this is Wednesday morning still, so I'm not sure if tonight is going to be slightly less crowded because of that valve that they put there for Monday, to ease some of that pressure.
Interesting to see,
Some people played already, so it'll be more calm. I think it will be. I think that's what's going to happen, but even if it's still completely crowded tonight, those folks that needed that icebreaker sort of activity got it, and that's, I think, really, really great.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so, switching over to some stuff we actually played at that Monday or any other time around here. Do you have one in mind? I say we just work our way over.
Yeah, sure.
Let's start with you while I pick something.
Start with me. This one over here.
Yeah.
The old hat.
The one that played the most. How about that?
Yeah.
You definitely have played more, I think, than we did.
No, I think I've actually played more.
Mandy's in it, but
You go first.
there we go.
You go first,
Come on,
Mandi. Yeah.
Okay, I had a really great experience last night playing Recurring. It has a few R's in there. It was a really fun card game. It had like a trick-taking feel to it, which was different. It took us a few rounds to kind of catch on. It's one of those games that are the import type games. I know you had shown us one as well. And I played it with Rodney Smith and a few other people last night. And I liked the feel of the game because it's one of those games where you're not trying to be over the number, you want to be under the number, but you can one-up people by adding pairs. You're trying to get rid of all the cards in your hand. Okay. And you can play it over 3 rounds. It was a little tricky to catch on because there were actually other nuances in the game. Like if you pass, you're not actually supposed to say pass, you're supposed to kind of just put your hand on the table that you've passed. Can I tell you how many times I put my hand on the table? I'm like, no, I didn't pass yet. So these are things you had to remember.
Oh, that's weird. I'm used to, I'm completely used to knocking. I'm used to knocking when you pass, but just
putting your hand here.
That's kind of going to trigger some people.
Goes to Ron, he's like, oh, too late, you passed. I'm like, great. So just little things like that. But it was quite a fun game.
Who was the publisher of that? Do you remember?
I don't recall.
Yeah, it's an import from
import.
Taiwan or Japan, I think.
Right.
So.
Recurring.
Recurring, and like Mandi said, it's like recurring.
You gotta say it like
there's literally like 6 R's in the name. We're not just being ridiculous.
That's going to be really fun to find online.
Yeah,
Good luck with that.
Sorry, guys.
Good luck with that one.
How about you, Zee? Come on.
Me?
Yeah, you're trying to be all polite, but let's get rid of these manners.
I'm going to talk about Lovecraft Letter.
Okay.
Which is love letter, Lovecraft, put them together, come up with an awful pun, Lovecraft Letter. But come up with some amazing artwork, some Vincent Dutrait, stunning, gorgeous artwork. It makes me think of the work he did for Time Stories. Actually, he did one of the plugins for Time Stories, and it's got that great rich vibe to it. So obviously you have all the Cthulhu beasties and all of that, but the gameplay is largely love letter with a little bit of a twist. The twist is that you can win in one of 2 ways. You can win the sane way, which is easier. You require fewer things, but it's tougher to get those things. And then you can win the insane way, where you need more rounds won, but you're probably going to go insane. So that route is balanced with the other one. And it's really interesting, that whole concept of push and pull. Do I try to stay sane, and I only have to win 2 rounds that way, and I win? The insane way takes 3. And the cards will have 2 powers on them, the sane power, the insane power. And so once you've played an insane card, from now on, you trigger that insane power. But before you play that card, you have to check your sanity, which means you draw a card from the top of the deck, you look at it. If that card is insane, you are out of the round. And so, I mean, once our little demo was done, I grabbed the deck, I counted how many cards were in there. It's 1/3 insane cards, which is tough.
It is.
And so it left me wondering, do I just want to avoid the insane cards? Because checking for that insanity is tough. You are
no way of controlling
very likely to knock yourself out of the round, which is fine. I mean, Love Letter takes like 3 minutes, and then you set up again, another 3 minutes, whatever. But it's a very different dynamic than the other ones I've played in that series. And like I said, I think once I play it some more, and that artwork and that production, it's a nice bigger box. The cards are nice tarot-sized cards. I think it's going to push its way to the top of those games for me. I enjoy Love Letter, and I'm not enamored with it, but I do enjoy it. But I think this one's going to be the Love Letter for me at the end of the day.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think we both got knocked out, you and I, from the insanity.
Yeah,
I got knocked out.
Oh, was it you? Okay.
By you.
Oh. That little detail.
And I got knocked out by me.
See, there you go. Exactly.
So that's from AEG.
Well, one of the games I got to see was 100 Swords, and this is from Laboratory Games. And this is a card-based dungeon crawl, for lack of a better term. And it's really cute. It's really adorable. Like, the art is just really charming. It's kind of got this cartoony look for it, so it's lighthearted. And basically, you get a dungeon deck, and it's got monsters and treasure and items and things like that, and you lay it out in a row, and you and your opponent are kind of battling your way through you're kicking open doors, right? You can move down the line so far, and then you have to deal with what's behind the door. And then as you go through the deck, you seed a boss into the bottom of the deck, so you never quite know when you have a sense, but you never quite know. And then you get to this boss, and you have to fight the boss. And I always love dungeon crawls that kind of give you a boss to fight. I mean, that makes it feel really rewarding at the end, and you're building up so you have the strength for it. And that's really what 100 Swords. It's quick, it's light. You're going through, you're kicking open doors, you're dealing with monsters. There are these special pieces of equipment you can rent from the dungeon keeper or whatever. Things that let you peek ahead and things like that, where you can just you can take them to deny your opponent that ability, which, you know, would be a horrible thing to do. And you'd never want to play the denial game at all.
Right.
But it's fun. I like it. It's charming. It's got personality. It's quick. It's snappy. You know, it's very tactical. But I really like it. And there were 2 decks that they came out with a year or so ago, and they've just come out with 2 new decks.
Right.
So there's 4 different dungeons you can go through, and it's called 100 Swords. And there's just the game is full of fun monsters, and like then it's 100 swords, and then it's got just all these different swords that are named ridiculous things, and so it's fun. I like it. You know, it's inexpensive, and it's a great little way to kill time. So that's 100 Swords from Laboratory Games.
Yeah, I've played that as well. The original ones, the blue and the red deck, are the first ones that came out, and it is really fun.
Right, yeah.
It's like a snappy little deck building, dungeon crawly kind of game.
Exactly. Yeah.
So one last thing I just want to touch on briefly. As far as trends you guys are picking up on as to how the year is going to play out, and I'll let you think about it while I say my own, because I don't want to put you on the spot. Here's what I've been picking up on. It seems that there's a nice, fun trend towards real-world scenario board games. And I'm talking here about firefighting, paramedics. There's another one. Those 2 are directly related to games we've seen. And there's another one I can't quite remember right now, but that's a really interesting, fun trend. I love that correlation to a real-world profession, real-world heroes, people that you can see that it's based on a real job. You know, they're not, you know, a fantasy slayer or something.
Right.
And that's really cool. I'm enjoying that a lot, seeing that be a new thing.
We were talking about that yesterday. Yeah, exactly. No, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. So.
I've noticed a lot of games seem to really be upping their component quality and getting really creative. Like Wasteland Express has these really elaborate minis, and the Grim Forest has these phenomenal buildings that, as you're assembling them, there's 3-piece buildings and you put them together. So it's you know, for the toy lover and me, you know, it's fun to see the components getting they're really experimenting with what they can do.
Yeah, very cool.
I find they've been doing a lot of change. Like, everyone knows this, I'm not a person who will seek out a deck builder type game, and I find that they're just trying to find ways to make it a bit more interesting. So that's something I've noticed with games, specifically deck builders, adding other pieces to it, like adding the dungeon crawl with the deck builder and things like that.
Right,
like
where deck building is it's just a part of the game.
Exactly.
It's not
the focus.
It's not the whole thing.
Right.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us for this one. Thanks everybody for tuning in and checking out our little back talk here. As I said, I've got these wonderful co-hosts with me on this one. So we're going to sign off and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Bye.